Hey everyone, this is Stirp. Happy October 1st. I am super stoked for today's video. This video kicks off my October author lineup. If you didn't hear on my last video, this month I'm going to be reading short stories from 7 different horror writers. Last month I did a call for submissions on Twitter and I had 7 authors respond. So they submitted their short horror stories to me, and I felt like it'd be a really good idea in October for Halloween and spooky season to read these amazing writers' works on my YouTube channel. So let's jump right in. Today's short story is written by Sonora Taylor. I'll be adding her website and other important links in the description below, so be sure to check that out after the video. And with that, here it is. Sonora Taylor is the author of Without Condition, The Crow's Gift and Other Tales, Please Give, and Wither and Other Stories. Her short story, Hearts Are Just Likes, was published in Camden Park Press's Quoth the Raven, an anthology of short stories and poems that put a contemporary twist on the works of Edgar Allan Poe. Taylor's short stories frequently appear in The Siren's Call, a bi-monthly horror e-zine. Her work has also appeared in Mercurial Stories, a weekly flash fiction literary journal, Tales to Terrify, a weekly horror podcast, and the Ladies of Horror Fiction podcast. Her third short story collection, Little Paranoias, will be out October 22nd, 2019. She lives in Arlington, Virginia with her husband. This story I'm about to read by Sonora Taylor is called Stick Figure Family. The story Stick Figure Family, which I'm about to read, appears in her upcoming collection, Little Paranoias. The collection is available for pre-order on Amazon, and I'm going to leave that link in the description below, so check that out. And with that, here's Sonora Taylor's short story, Stick Figure Family. Chelsea hurried through the parking lot at Trader Joe's. It was always crazy on Saturdays, and she usually tried to avoid the hubbub of suburban parents and their cranky kids. She'd run out of her favorite soap that morning, though, and would need more before the weekend was over. The parking lot was a quagmire of vans, shopping carts, and people. A couple bickered over something trivial as they walked by her. A child screamed in her cart as her father tried to sweet-talk her into behaving. Chelsea closed her eyes as she tried to keep her composure. "Watch out!" a woman's voice called. Chelsea looked toward the voice, then felt sharp plastic whack against her legs. She cursed, and a woman in a blue knitted poncho pulled back the cart that had hit her. "I'm sorry," the woman said. "I was lost in my own world and didn't even see you." Chelsea glared at her and rubbed her aching knees. The woman had straight brown hair, as dull and faded as her gray leggings. She pressed a button and unlocked the minivan next to them. Chelsea saw a line of stick figures on the window. Stick figure families were so sickeningly charming. "No one cares how many smiling kids you have," she thought. "Do you need something?" the woman asked. She had the slightest hint of irritation in her voice. She had some nerve, being the one who hit Chelsea in the first place. "No," Chelsea said. She walked off without a word. All she needed was to get out of the parking lot. Camilla checked her hair in the mirror before pulling out of the parking lot at Trader Joe's. She hadn't even seen that girl with the messy blonde bun and the deep-set frown. She wondered what was wrong with her. Hitting her with the cart had been an accident, an honest mistake. Camilla sighed as she pulled out of the lot and turned on the radio. The girl wasn't her concern. She drove down the road. The strip malls and condos disappeared behind her as she made her way towards her favorite spot, the lake behind her parents' old cabin. It was her favorite spot to be alone and catch her breath after a busy morning chasing after the kids. Camilla parked her van and took in the sparkling lake in front of her. The surface lay still, with no one around to drop rocks in its waters or cast lines in search of fish. She smiled as she opened her trunk. She had a box of crackers and a block of her favorite cheese waiting for her. Camilla set the grocery bag on the ground, then lifted the limp bodies of 2 children from the floor of the trunk. They'd been running through the woods near her apartment, and they should have known better than to wake her up with their shouts. Once they were in the lake and once she'd washed her hands, Camilla ate her snack and stared out over the water. The surface bubbled a little as the bodies sank, but it soon stood as still as it had before. Camilla got to her feet and brushed stray blades of grass from her leggings. She approached her van, then dug through her purse. Before she got in, she stuck 2 new stick figures on her van's back window. All right, I definitely did not see that coming. The whole stick figures being the bodies of kids that she's drowning. Totally didn't see that. I loved that story. Sonora, that was amazing. I didn't make that connection at all when Chelsea sees the stick figure family and when Camilla is taking the 2 children out. Even when you say in the story that she lifts the bodies and then she's putting them into the lake, the stick figure family totally didn't pop into my mind. So that's great when she takes out those stickers and adds them. Amazing. I'll leave Sonora's website in the description. I'll leave the link to the pre-order for the book of short stories. And you can follow her on Twitter as well, on Instagram. I'll leave all that in the description below. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Sonora Taylor, for sharing your story with all of us, with the world. Awesome. Stay tuned because in about a week, I'll be doing another reading of a short story. Happy October, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.